What's up? What's going on? Hide and read. Here's our wrap-up video for the month of March 2026. First, I didn't read this book at all. I was just supposed to read it and I completely forgot that I was reading this book. This is more just for me. James Michener, Alaska. Barely into it. Definitely enjoying it. I just lost track of things this month. One of the big things I'm doing is drastically reducing the library. I feel like a broken record at this point, but it's actually happening. I'm maybe, I want to say 50% of the way there, and then I have the next 40% kind of in stages, and every day I kind of just go through it and I'm like, okay, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then I bring them either to the used bookstore. I'm getting kind of tired of that, and I've been bringing them to the public library. And then there's some books I'm just like, I want to give them to people. I don't really have the means to ship things right now, unfortunately, but who knows? Maybe a reader will appear. I started reading these essays from Theodore Roosevelt, who doesn't like to be called Teddy. Man, he was like the most charming president to me, and now I'm not in the mood. Not in the mood for this. I don't know. I don't know what to say. My sentimentality is hurt or injured or something. It was a lot of like shaming people into like civic duty, and maybe it was just a little, it sounded a little bit too familiar. I'm just not in the mood. So Teddy Roosevelt is going to have to take a break. Great mustache, cool stories. Man, those essays were very hard to digest in the sense of the ideas. I'm just not a fan. Maybe I could check in some other time. Not exactly a book, but I listened to Faust. Gaunod. How do you pronounce this? I'm not sure. But this version of it, I listened to a couple other ones briefly, but I listened to this one probably like three times. It's amazing, this Teldeck version. If you can find it, if you can hunt it or find a digital copy or something. I did read it because I can't speak. It's in French, right? I can't speak the native language, or German. I don't know. Where's my brain? But yeah, it was absolutely awesome. I'm gonna listen and read through it one more time. It's not short. It's like almost 3 hours. And then I'm gonna review the story. If you want to talk about Faust, shoot me an email. Why have you not sent me an email yet? I'm gonna put my email right there. Send me an email. You could say not nice things. I don't care. Just don't expect too much. I will respond. This was awesome. Fritz Eichenberg, Works of Mercy. So this artist, he fled Germany like right as the National Socialist Party took over. Kind of like coincidentally, he just didn't like the way that the country was feeling at the time. It wasn't like super political. He just was like unsatisfied. I have that dust jacket on backwards. And then he came to America, and he converted to the Quaker belief, religion. and became a friend and was practicing fellowship. Yes, that's where I get the fellowship stuff from. I'm not a Quaker, but I just think some of them had very, very, very positive ideas. But anyway, he continued working as an artist, got his family eventually into America, and he started working with this woman, Dorothy Day, and she did like a lot of community service and public works for poor people, like feeding and housing and stuff. And she asked him basically to do stuff like this for free for her newsletter that she would like sell for like a penny a piece. And I guess they would use the proceeds to feed people and house people. But yeah, it has some of her writings in here, some of his writings, some of his like an interview. There's just altogether is very nice. If you are into Russian literature, he's a big fan of Dostoevsky, and he illustrated a lot of the stories for Dostoevsky. So go ahead and look up Fritz Eichenberg. The Dostoevsky woodcuts are amazing. That was my introduction to this artist, just kind of out of coincidence. Just had this nice copy of, I want to say it was Crime and Punishment, and the woodcuts in it were amazing. I'm a big fan of like woodcut art, so pretty cool. I read book 1 of The Imitation of Christ, Thomas à Kempis, who I believe Norwegian, is a medieval Norwegian monastic, and this is a guidebook for contemplative prayer or meditation, and they use the word meditation a lot. I don't know about the original language, but at least the English translation. And this English translation is not, I don't think it's a new one by any means. 1886. So is the translation. And this edition is derived from an 1886 printing of a translation of a Thomas à Kempis 15th century work by William Benham. Okay, yeah. So Thomas à Kempis, 15th century, translation, 1886. We'll go with that. But yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. Yeah, most of you got through Lent. Some of you have 1 week left. But yeah, maybe you're still riding the spiritual high. I would suggest this book right here is awesome. It's great. It's great. It's not something that you want to just plow through. Like, you know, you read like one of the aphorisms and then you contemplate. And you read an aphorism and then you contemplate. Or maybe you want to read one a day or something. I don't know. But very enjoyable medieval writing about spirituality. That's always fun for me. Boring for some, fun for me. All right, let's lighten up a bit. I started finally reading an actual William Johnstone book, and I have 3 in here. I did not finish the first one yet, but I'm going to. It's just getting a bit of a shout out here. Really impressed at his like the plotting, like the story is not amazing, but I think what really stood out to me is the cliffhangers at the end of each chapter. A little bit cheesy but fun, and it keeps the pages turning. It reminded me of like when I was much younger and reading Goosebumps, and like every Goosebump, like it's not a Goosebumps chapter if it doesn't end in some kind of cliffhanger that's instantly resolved within the first paragraph of the next chapter. And that, you know, maybe not the highest form of literature, but fun to read. This one. This seems to be a theme of this month. I didn't finish this, but for a good reason. I have like 30 pages left. Lord of the Mysteries. This is a Chinese, I believe it's technically a light novel, but basically they would like release the chapters in a serial manner, like almost every day or something. So there ends up being like I don't know, it's like a 600-page book with like 100 chapters. But yeah, it's really cool. Chinese kind of serialized novel. The series is much longer than this at this point. This is just the English translated. They have another volume out right now. Maybe they're on the third. I don't know. But the reason why I didn't finish it is because I just started watching the animated version of the show. If you want a link for it, I'll send you one, but you're gonna have to contact me. I don't want to post it because I'm afraid it's gonna like disappear. But yeah, so I'm watching the animated version right now, which is really good. I'm not usually a fan of animated versions of like manga or light novels and stuff, because I just feel like, oh, this is like kind of like a baby food version of what the people should have been reading. Like, it's cool if you read it and it like gives you like a little bit more to experience, but in general I don't think they ever add anything like to the experience of the story. And this is completely different. The animation is next level. Like, I can't imagine reading this and not watching the anime. Like, it's really good. And they have an English language dub version now, so you don't have to read all the subtitles. So I guess we didn't even talk about it. Lord of the Mysteries. It's like a Western esoteric kind of adventure in an alternate reality, or it's like a steampunk alternate reality with lots of themes of Western esoteric practice, like ritual magic, but it all kind of like, it's referring to this world that we live in the magic traditions that have existed historically. So I don't practice ritual magic. I'm not afraid of it, but phobic would be a good word. Like, I'm not into it at all. But I do like learning the history of it, and it's been a lot of fun to kind of like see and catch all the Easter eggs and stuff. On top of that, there's like a bit of like a kind of like a mystery noir kind of story going on as well. And it has like this big kind of like system of like leveling, like a leveling system almost. Not even almost. There is a leveling system. I keep saying like. There's a leveling system. Like, there is a leveling system in this book, if you're into that. I'm not into that, but it's still cool. Yeah. Somebody recommended me this. If you're still watching these videos, I read this book that you recommended to me. Cuttlefish That Loves Dying is the author. It is awesome, and I don't think I would have caught this if it wasn't for the person that recommended it to me. So thank you very much. I pretty much bought it as soon as it came out, only on your recommendation and how bizarre it sounded. So I know somebody watching is into that. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but. And then last and final thing, again, theme of the month. Did not finish this book, but that's okay. It's not easy to read. Decline of the West. Oddly enough, you know who you are. This has gone into it. Like, started talking about why Russians are obsessed with Faust and like the Faustian myth or symbol or idea, and it came back to this, and not on purpose either. So that was pretty interesting. I'm sure I'll talk about it more because I want to do like a proper review of the story of this opera. I can't really comment on the music part of it because I could like only enjoy an opera. I don't have any sort of reference point or anything to review an opera other than to say that I enjoyed it. But yeah, Oswald Spengler, Decline of the West. This is volume 1. It's enjoyable to read, but it's like every time I pick the book up, it feels like it's getting longer and longer, which I guess is okay. But there's a second volume I have to get to still. yeah, it's awesome. I just don't want to cook my brain, so taking my time a little bit with that one. And yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. I'm gonna start, I believe, making some less kind of like booktube-ish videos. We'll see. I kind of made this threat before and it didn't really happen, but this time we'll see. Once I have a lot less books, I think we'll also go over like what books I decided to keep, like and maybe why I got rid of all the books and how I feel after it.
Your fantasies can't ever be quenched, can they? You freaking freaks! When will you learn?
Like, none of this is like a judgment call on anybody with a ton of books. Obviously, if you've been watching the channel, you know that I just acquire books. They just appear. I don't know what to do about it, other than to read them and get rid of them. And then it just got to a point where there's no way I was going to read that many books, and I've read enough books that I know there's some that I want to keep reading. And then a lot of this other stuff becomes a distraction. And even if it's an enjoyable read for me, that doesn't necessarily mean that, like, one, it was even worth reading just because I enjoyed it. Because time is limited. And yeah, every book that I'm reading is not Brothers Karamazov is a book that I'm reading that's not Brothers Karamazov. That's kind of a problem. So we'll get into it. I've been also learning, not exactly Punjabi. It's like a version of it called Gurmukhi, and I'm doing this so I could read this text that I'm sure we'll talk about at some point. That's been a lot of fun. So I'm like learning a new alphabet. I'm learning lots of new sounds, lots of new like ways to make sounds that we don't have any reference for in English. I'm also learning how to like translate poetry, and yeah, so my reading has suffered a little bit in that sense, that it's just like I don't have the time to like put up the numbers and like juggle all these different stories in my brain right now. So we'll see. I don't think I'll be going back to just reading as much leisure fiction as possible. Like I'm not going to stop reading leisure fiction, but I don't think it's going to be like it was previously. But yeah, who knows? I don't know the future. I can only observe the present. That's something we're wrestling with here. So until next time. Don't skip the video. I'm gonna put music or something in here. Until next time, find somewhere to hide, find something to read. Peace.